Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren from Lauren and the Books, and happy Valentine's Day to you all. Today I'm going to be doing something a bit Valentine's-y, and I've picked out my top 5. I'm not sure they're my favourite couples, but they're the most convinced I've been of couples in literature. And I've just picked out a quote from each of the book, whether they're meeting for the first time or something that just describes something that happened between them. So I'm going to get right into it and talk about my top 5 convincing couples. Is that a thing? We'll make it a thing. Number 1 is Rhett Butler and Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind is an absolute beast of a book. It's 984 pages long. I've read it twice in my life and I really, really love it. I love the long burn of the love story in here, and I love the characters. Scarlett, I love Scarlett O'Hara. She's a right little moody cowboy, but she's a right little moody cow, but she gets shit done, and she's a strong woman. Rhett Butler is just very indifferent about everything, and I love indifference in a man. That is what I love. But I've picked a quote here. This is one of the first times they've ever met. It's from page 115, so it's very early on in the book, in the grand scheme of 1,000 pages. Rhett Butler has been eavesdropping on Scarlett, talking to Ashley, who she believes that she loves dearly more than anyone in the world. "Sir," she said, "you are no gentleman." "An apt observation," he answered airily, "and you, miss, are no lady." He seemed to find her very amusing, for he laughed softly again. "No one can remain a lady after saying and doing what I have just overheard. However, ladies have seldom held any charms for me. I know what they are thinking, but they have never had the courage or lack of breeding to say what they think, and that, in time, becomes a bore. But you, my dear Miss O'Hara, are a girl of rare spirit, very admirable spirit, and I take off my hat to you. I fail to understand what charms the elegant Mr. Wilkes can hold for a girl of your tempestuous nature. He should thank God on bended knee for a girl with your, how did he put it, passion for living. But being a poor-spirited wretch, you aren't fit to wipe his boots," she shouted in rage. And I just love... Ooh. And I just love Scarlett and Rhett. I think they're very good together, and this is a really good book. It's definitely, if you're looking for a massive 1,000-pager, go for this. I really love it. The next one, these are in no particular order because obviously these people would be at the top, and that is Ron and Hermione. I love Ron and Hermione. I also love the slow burn of their relationship, the fact that they started off as school friends, and then sort of as the book sort of, I guess it starts happening in book 5 when he gets with Lavender Brown, who I also adore. That's when you start thinking, oh, something's going to happen here. And I just love the fact that it was getting towards the end of the 7th book, and I was thinking, oh, well, nothing's really happened between Ron and Hermione. And then this happens in the big battle of Hogwarts. There was a clatter as the basilisk fans cascaded out of Hermione's arms. Running at Ron, she flung them around his neck and kissed him full on the mouth. Ron threw away the fangs and broomstick he was holding and responded with such enthusiasm that he lifted Hermione off her feet. "Is this the moment?" Harry asked weakly, and when nothing happened except Ron and Hermione gripped each other still more firmly and swayed on the spot, he raised his voice. "Oi! There's a war going on here!" Ron and Hermione broke apart, their arms still around each other. "I know, mate," said Ron, who looked as though he had recently been hit on the back of the head with a bludger. "So it's now or never, isn't it?" And that's just Ron and Hermione, and I love Ron and Hermione. I was never as convinced. Well, when Harry and Ginny got together, I was like, oh yeah, I can see this happening, but the Ginny in the films was not the Ginny in my mind. The Ginny in the films I thought was a bit of a wet fart, and in here, she's like proper badass girl, and that's why, unfortunately, Ginny and Harry aren't my favourite couple, because I just love Ron and Hermione. I love Ron, mainly, but Hermione, I just think they make such an amazing couple. Very convincing to me. The next ones are the title characters of the book Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. So Eleanor and Park, this is a book set in the 80s about two very different people. Eleanor, who is new to town, she's got a very strange, awful backstory of her life, and her family life is not very happy at all. Park is sort of on the other end of the spectrum. His mum and dad are very, very much in love, and they sort of meet on the bus and fall in love, and this sort of tells the story of them falling in love. And this is Park, so it's told from multiple perspectives as well, which is something I love, obviously. And this is Park talking about Eleanor. Holding Eleanor's hand was like holding a butterfly or a heartbeat, like holding something complete and completely alive. As soon as he touched her, he wondered how he'd gone this long without doing it. He rubbed his thumb through her palm and up her fingers and was aware of her every breath. My next convincing couple are Cathy and Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Now, as I said at the beginning of this video, these aren't particularly my favourite couples. Cathy and Heathcliff are both fucking horrible people. But they are batshit psycho in love with each other, and that is convincing enough. This is a quote of when Cathy has been asked to be married to Edgar Linton, and she's talking to Nellie about the differences between Edgar and Heathcliff. I've no more business to marry Edgar Linton than I have to be in heaven, and if the wicked man in there had not brought Heathcliff so low, I shouldn't have even thought of it. It would degrade me to marry Heathcliff now, so he shall know that I've known how I love him, and that not because he's handsome, Nelly, but because he's more myself than I am. Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same, and Linton's is as different as a moonbeam from lightning or frost from fire. So yeah, as I said, both awful people, but very, very much in love. My last convincing couple are Hazel, oh my god, I've forgotten her name. Hazel and Augustus from The Fault in Our Stars. So The Fault in Our Stars is a book about two teenagers who are both, they meet at a cancer support group. August has had cancer and is in remission, and Hazel has cancer but it is controlled. And they meet at a cancer support group, and this is them on a phone call. So they have a friend, Isaac, whose girlfriend, they say always to each other as a sort of like goodbye. And this is Hazel and Augustus talking on the phone. Okay, he said, I gotta go to sleep, it's almost 1. Okay, I said. Okay, he said. I giggled and said, okay. And then the line was quiet but not dead. I almost felt like he was there in my room with me, but in a way it was better, like I was not in my room and not in his, but instead we were together in some invisible and tenuous third space that could only be visited on the phone. Okay, he said after forever. Maybe okay will be our always. Okay, I said. It was Augustus who finally hung up. So those are my top 5 convincing Valentine's Day couples. I really enjoyed doing this. I had a good old look through the books, revisited them, thinking about what quotes I liked. I definitely want to read Gone with the Wind again. I definitely want to read Eleanor and Park again. Always want to read Harry Potter. Who are you most convinced about in literature? Who are your favourite couples? As I said, these aren't all of these aren't my favourite couples, but they're definitely my ones that I'm most convinced by. And I would love to hear the same from you. So I will see you all again on Wednesday for another BookTube video. Happy Valentine's Day! Goodbye! I wondered what you were doing over there.